What's up, guys? No, that's not me. You clicked on this to see the Toyota Home in-cab truck camping solar setup system. That's what you'll get, including the 3 problems I've had. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Underneath the bed that I built in my truck cab, I have a Bluetti AC180 power bank. This is powered or charged by 2 100-watt Renogy solar panels that I have mounted on this Hooke Off Road roof rack. I'm going to pull my bed out and then I'll show you guys some more details. All right, my bed's out of the way. Now we can see the heart of the system, the Bluetti AC180. We'll do a quick tour of this guy. Top left, solar input cord. Below that, 12-volt cigarette lighter output, which goes to my ARB refrigerator using a NOCO extension cord. And then I have 4 of the, on the right, 4 of the USB-C old school, slower charging ports. And on the left there, is a USB-C 100-watt PD cord. There's also 4 house-type plugs on the right side. And then, as far as solar input, this is the area where I've inlet the solar input wires that lead to the solar input plug on the Bluetti unit. What you can't see is this goes down, back under the carpet, up this side panel, up under the headliner. And then, hopefully this shot's okay, comes out here in this marine grade wire thing. It's waterproof. So that's where it exits the top of my truck. So this main loom is what I call it. Also carries the cigarette lighter type cord, extension cord made by NOCO. Current in this direction, down here, then it goes under my truck and powers my ARB refrigerator in the back. All right, solar panel time. I have 2 Renogy 100-watt solar panels mounted on this Hooke Off Road roof rack, and they are connected to each other by these Bouge RV solar panel mounts, which I'm real happy with. Here's the 3 problems I've had with this setup. Problem number 1 was me, not knowing really what I was doing yet. Long story short, I originally had a 200-watt solar panel, a single one, that had too high a voltage for this particular power bank. So I got everything all installed and set up, and I plugged everything in, and the power bank would not charge. It didn't recognize the solar input. So me being so smart, I looked at the Bluetti factory solar input adapter, which is, this is an extra one here, but it's the same as this piece here. And I was thinking, well, the wires seem too small. Maybe I need to get bigger wires. So I ordered an aftermarket one on Amazon with bigger wires and put it together, and it worked. It worked fine until I got to Florida on a multi-week trip, and one morning I realized it wasn't charging, and I found on my old power bank this was melted and this was melted. Now that may have been a result of this coming maybe a little loose from driving or knocking it around or whatever as well. But the actual problem was from me choosing the wrong solar panel with too high a voltage and then deciding to buy a crappy aftermarket solar input adapter. Problem number 2. Solar panel wiring MC4 connectors. The standard for solar panel wiring, but I think the issue is some of this stuff is crap, especially the stuff you buy on Amazon, or you get different brands, are not made the same, they don't connect good. That's the problem I was having here. This is the solar panel input adapter we talked about. That is the wiring loom where my solar panel power comes in, and I used to have the two attached or connected with MC4 connectors. But once in a while I'd have a charging issue, it wasn't charging, I'd wiggle the connectors or pry the insides apart and reconnect them and they'd be fine. So I just got rid of them. You can't see under there, but I cut them off both ends of both wires and just hardwired it. So problem number 3 caused a problem on my trip when I thought it was a problem with the power bank, but it actually wasn't. The power bank was trying to save itself. So what happened is I was on a multi-day trip, and it was really cold where I was, like 0 degrees, sunny, but really cold. And one day I plugged my phone in to my 100-watt PD cord, and it wouldn't charge. So I checked the power bank, and it was super low on juice. And I figured, well, it's been sunny, it should be full. So I thought that my power bank took a dump or whatever. But long story short, what I found out is that these power banks, and maybe other brands, I don't know, if it's too cold, they built in a protection within the unit to protect itself from damage from it trying to charge the lithium battery when it's too cold out. So basically the unit went into a self-protection mode. I finished out the trip, nothing changed. I thought it was broken. I got home, I contacted Bluetti, did some online research. Nothing really made sense. Everything was conflicting information. So I was going to try and warranty it, but I had to power it back up so I could give Bluetti some pictures. So I plugged it into the wall, let it charge to 100% off the wall when it was warm back home in Texas. And for some reason I wanted to retry it. So I retried it, and it works. It works totally fine. It's the same exact one that's still in the truck. It wasn't a problem. It was a lesson, and it could be a problem if you're on a trip. But basically, if it's too cold, the thing doesn't work. And I just need to keep that in mind. Problem number 3 got me really thinking, along with the other problems I've had, that I should probably have a backup source of power for many different reasons. So I'll be installing this Giandel 2000 watt inverter hardwired to my truck, which will virtually make my truck a generator, which I'll be able to use in many different ways. I'll do a video on this later. I've had a few problems, but in the big picture it's not a big deal, and really it's just lessons. I'm super stoked on the setup, the solar setup, my in-cab truck camping setup. If you guys want to get more details or check out what this stuff costs, I put links in the video description to the major components of my solar system. And stay tuned, I'll be breaking down a lot more about my in-cab truck camping setup.